What is up, fellow developers? My name is Tyler Potts, and welcome back to the Tyler Potts Show. Anyway, we are going to be learning XD. It's an XD crash course. So, as a developer, you're probably using a lot of other design tools. You might be using Sketch, you might be using Figma, you might be using. There's quite a few different ones. But one thing I use is XD. It's free and it's a really good tool. It's super fast for starters, and it just works really well, in my opinion. So we've got Foxes, Jammin' and Cream. I designed this a minute ago. And we'll probably do this for a video as well, showing you how I would go about designing a landing page. Let's say your designer sent you over this and you're like, okay, let's build this page. You might need some assets from it. This stuff might not be here on the side already for you, so let's figure it out. So first thing you want to do is kind of know all your fonts and that. So if you look over here, you can double click into your text and you can see it tells you on the right here, this is your info panel about everything, how you edit things and stuff. You've got the width, the X position, the Y position, the height, loads of other stuff, but here is your text. So you can see you've got Cooper STD as this font, but you can see this one's a different font. So let's click on that one too, and you can see that one's Montserrat. You can see it's 36 pixels. Font size is 36. I don't know if this is pixel or points in this design tool, but at the same time, I would probably just go with pixels. So this 36 pixels. It's regular font weight. Nothing changes. Just the line height is 44, which is the default for this size anyway. And then the text line is left, although it should be center. And here you've got the fill, so the color of it. So you can go down here and see the hex code. You can change it if you want to use RGB or if you want to have HSB. I'm going to go back to hex because I prefer hex codes. And then you see there's all the colours here at the bottom, which our designer has laid out for us of the colours. So you can just select each one to see the colours which are used on this page. That's wrong. There we go, back to white. And then you can see you've got loads for assets. So that's just one way to see some things. So you can see your colours as well, obviously, in that section. So on the right here, you maybe you want to know what the actual whole the designed page is. So you can click on here and you can see it's designed at 1366 by 768. The viewport height is 768 pixels. So this could obviously be bigger. This could be double. I'm just going to do ×2. Yes, you can use math equations in here. You can do ×2, and you can see you've got viewport height is still 768. So this is this bit here. You can see it changes over there. And then you've got now your other section of the page. So this just shows what should be above the fold. So anything above this should be above the fold on the page, whereas anything below obviously is hidden to start with when you first land on the page. I'm going to undo all of that. And as you can see over here on the left, you've got these 3 dots. These indicate that there's a slider, or something similar, or these could be indications that when you click on this, it scrolls to the next section. In this case, I've done it as a slider, so when you click, or it may automatically go through. Again, this stuff you might have to ask your designer. It might automatically slide through, or you click on them, and then this will slide out and show a different biscuit. Fox's Biscuit, I love Fox's Biscuit. Jam and Cream, amazing. This isn't sponsored, by the way, but I just love those biscuits, really recommend them. I've got a pack next to me right now. So yeah, you can see here, you've got loads of other bits. Now, you might be thinking, I actually want to add the circles in manually, like it's diffs in there, and just use thingy, but how do you see them? So you can double click into here. You can see it's all grouped, this back page bit. So you can press Command-Shift Group, or G, to ungroup it all. Although that's now just brought this white box in front, and you're probably thinking, what is this? This is the mask. So if you have this over it all, and you highlight the elements you want, and you press Command-Shift-M, it masks everything. But if you unmask it by pressing Command-Shift-G while having it highlighted, it unmasks it. So you can see that this is just a mask. So you don't need to worry about that. But here you can see now you've got a asset. So you've got this background. You've got this, which is, well, as you can see when you drag it away, this is a separate element. So there's a circle with a picture of biscuits. Now you're probably thinking, I want that picture of biscuits. How do I get it? What you can do is you can double click in here. Again, this is mask. So you press Command-Shift-G and you unmask it. And now you've got this picture of biscuits. And you can now export that by pressing Command-E. And you can choose where you export it. You can export it as SVG. You won't want to do that for a picture, a PDF, or a JPEG. I would recommend JPEG if you're making it thingy, about 70%, especially when it's going to be a lower opacity and for web, because it gives you a 2x as well in case you want to use 2 times for Retina displays. Again, you just click export and now export it to somewhere or where I just did it, but that's fine. So let's undo what we just did. Let's put that back in and mask again and move that over there. Oh, over there, overlays on it, and there you go, back over there. So that's cool, but now you want to check what opacity this is. So you click this, you can see it's 20% appearance, or the opacity. And again, these are all 20% opacity, so you can check that by just clicking on them, which is great. You might see this has an underline, but if you click on it, you can actually see that the underline, it's not actually an underline, that's an underline. This is actually just a line, or a border bottom if you would. And you can now see it's 3 pixels high. You can choose if it's rounded. I actually like the rounded bound. I'm going to leave that like that. Or you can have it squared off. Or none. Just end at the point. But no, we're just going to have it rounded off. Again, different little things. And you've got here some icons which are grouped again. So I'm just press Command-Shift-G to ungroup them. And you can click on it. And maybe you want these bigger for some reason. You can actually export these as SVG. So you can press Command-E again and select SVG, and you'll get an actual SVG of this. The paths will be exported. Or again, you can just press, you can actually export it as a PNG or something. And if you want this PNG, you might want it at 2 times the size. To do that, we can either just export for web at 2 times as a PNG, which will export 2 times size, or you can make it bigger by holding Option Shift and pulling like this, and you can make it whatever size you want to make it, which is perfect for you, again, to use XD. Now, there's loads of other tools in XD. You can create other artboards. So let's say you wanted a different artboard. You can just drag and click, or you have some options over here. So you can say iPhone 6 Plus, this iPhone, we want now an iPad, that, we want all of them. You can get loads of these in here, and you can see all the different screen sizes. So what some designers do, which I recommend designers do, is create a mobile and an iPad sort of tablet layout, just so you can see how it should respond as it goes down. There we go. So let's remove that. There's some different things. Another one is the pen tool. Although I don't like the pen tool in XD, but it can be useful. Let's say if you want to mask a certain shape. So let's say you want to mask this jam and creams, but you kind of want to cut this out for some reason. So you can just click here. You can just cut around it, you know, just boop, 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 and then just go around it like that. Just a quick cut, go for there. Obviously hit that fill, that, and then shift click both of these, press Command Shift M, and there you go. Now it's cow. It looks terrible. Obviously you'd put a bit more time into it, maybe add some curves into that, so you don't know those biscuits are gone, but now those biscuits are gone, in case you didn't want those. So you could use the outer path tool. You can also just create shapes. So if you wanted, let's say, some sort of star, this is going to be horrible, by the way, I'm not a star drawer. Tell you what, it's coming out pretty good so far. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. There you go. Now you've got a really nice star in here. And you can export that as well as an SVG or a JPEG or anything you want again. So it's a great star. Again, loads of different tools in XD, and it's really useful. You also have this asset window. So if you click down here, you can see, or not even the layers window, sorry, and you can have a look at all of these things. You can even see the mask group. So you can see there's a mask group down here. If you double click into it, you can see what elements are inside the mask. You can actually select this. You can hide it. You can select it. You can then resize it and then leave it like that, you see. So you've got different sort of tools on the right. And then if you click into this, you can see the pasteboard stuff, which is just things which are left out on the edge here. So if you want to know what this is, you can just click in here and have a look at that. So the Cooper STD font text, loads of different small tools. You can do triangles, you can do circles, and you can do rectangles. One other thing to mention is the layouts or the grids. So if you press Command Shift apostrophe or Control Shift apostrophe if you're on Windows, you can bring up this layout, so you can see the layouts. You can see if you're on a 12 grid system, you can actually see what sort of how the designer sees your grid system. And if you were creating 2 columns, for example, you add a 2 column element, you would see that there would be like 2 columns, 2 items and 2 columns. That means you can use your grid system and say this is going to span 6 columns and it's going to span and also 6 columns. Sort of thing, small little things. If you don't want to use this, you can also use the standard grid system. So if you just press Control or Command and then apostrophe, you get this grid system here, which you can actually change. If you click on landing page, you can see on the bottom right, you can change the values for these. Let's say you just want 50 pixels wide. There you go. Now you've got more squares, but different things. And if you bring back out your other grids, you can also access it by here. So you've got hide layout, show layout grid, or show square grid. We'll show layout grid. You can also adjust the column width, how many columns you actually have, the guttering. So if you want these to be 32, you can see now you've got double the guttering. So now you can change all those sort of things. And that is basically just a bunch of little fun things you can do with XD. Again, there's a lot to XD. It's a very small thing, and it's just what it does. You can also convert these to shapes. So let's say you want to convert this to a path. You can actually convert it to a path. And there you go, now you've got a path of this. So it's no longer text, it's actually a bunch of paths put together. You can delete the paths, you can create your own custom font if you want. There you go, that's a J. That's a new J for Jam and Cream. But yeah, so that you can do loads of different things with this, and it is really useful. So that is just a quick crash course on how you use XD as a developer. I hope you liked it. It's just a quick way to get around. There's loads of shortcuts you can learn and stuff like that. If you did like it, then don't forget to put a thumbs up, hit that like button, you know, it helps out a lot. Smash that subscribe button if you want to see more, hit the bell notification if you want to know as soon as a new video goes live. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace.
And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun.